What is going on, everyone? Today we are going to be taking our 5950X and we're going to be pairing it up with these 8 6600 XTs. Now, in one of my last videos, I had it paired up over here to eliminate the RevTech board. Well, I had it running for a while and I started experiencing problems with the 5950X. Couldn't figure out what in the heck was going on. Like, out of nowhere, the thing just decided to start giving me about half the hash rate. It was at a constant. I had it at a steady, you know, 4. Uh, and for some reason, it dropped in half. And I did everything. I thought maybe it was a binary problem or something like that. And I didn't update the miner or anything like that. So after changing miners, changing pools, going through a whole big host of things, I had thought maybe that the 5950X was hurt. Something was wrong with it. Well, come to find out, I pulled it out of here because it wasn't fun working with it up here. But I pulled it out and I did the latest BIOS update. Now, who knows if that's what actually fixed it or not, but we do have it over here on our bench, and it has been mining now for, I want to say right around 24 hours or so, but it's back in its old form. It's doing its thing. Um, so it's at just about 4 kilohash now, right back where it was before, So, but what we're going to try to do, because we've ordered some new equipment and we've got some new things coming, I'd like to put this with the 6600 XTs, and I think that it will do it without a problem. I could be wrong, but we're going to find out. I've got a new board coming for the 5700 and 580s that are up there. And we've got another 3900X that we're going to put with that. And then I'm also, because I'm consolidating all these rigs, because what's in here now, as I showed in a previous video, that's a little i5, I think it's a 7500, that's running these things flawlessly. Hopefully the B550 motherboard and the 5950X run it flawlessly, because I have the least amount of problems out of these cards. These things are just awesome. I am so happy with these cards. So, but we're going to replace this one, and then down here we've got our 3090, 3070 Ti, 3080, 3070, and a little 1060. This right here is the 3300X. So what I'm going to be doing, this is a B450 motherboard. I'm going to be replacing this with a 3900X as well. Now on the B450 motherboards, you do not want to go above a 3900X. And I'm telling you, just don't try it. The VRAM just gets way too hot. I mean, like smoking hot, like on fire hot. I've got a video clip. I've got to get that video clip out of there, but I've got one of my temperature gun well over 220 degrees at the VRAM. I mean, so hot it will burn you. But the 3900X is a great pair with the B450, and I'm going to tell you this much. These boards, I'll show you one over here. We got one over here on the bench. These boards are absolutely awesome for mining with the PCIe splitters. If you got the 4-way splitters in here, it's got just enough to do the work and not too much that you're wasting a bunch of extra features on a board. And I'm pretty sure they're only like $80 for one of these boards. We'll look one up on Amazon and leave a link in the description, but I absolutely recommend them. They're not anything fancy or flashy, but with a 3900X, they'll get the job done. So, and for the price, can't beat them. In fact, if you buy any GPUs off of Newegg. These are usually in a bundle deal. I think I've got 4 of them, I believe. And we've got another 6600 XT on its way with a motherboard that I really wanted. So that'll be coming up in another build. But so far, so good. We finally got this thing going. It's been a pain in my rear end, no doubt about it. One thing I did learn about this board also, if you're going to use these 2 slots over here, especially this last one, this is, I believe it's the X4 slot, you cannot have anything connected in any of the SATA ports that are 4, 5, and 6, because it'll take the place of those. So you want to make sure that you're plugged into 0, 1, or 2, or 3 over here. So that's one thing I learned. We will go into the BIOS here in a few minutes, and we'll see what we got set up for this thing to be able to mine. I really love this motherboard, but I can tell you this much: I think it's finicky. I think it's the most finicky board that I've worked with yet. It's great build quality, great build quality. But this is the B550 Pro version 2. So we're going to give this another shot. I hope I don't upset the old i5 up there, because I'll tell you what, that thing is running flawlessly. And if I start having a bunch of problems, I'm putting it right back in there, just because those cards run so well the way they are right now. But I'm going to get into the BIOS, and we'll be back in just a few. All right, guys, we are back in the BIOS. So one of the first things you want to do is you always want to change your AC power. We're in the regular settings here. If you notice, we got all this grain up here, that little 570 that we fixed. One of the things I noticed is that the HDMI port does that. When we're using any of the display ports, it doesn't do that. So you're going to want to AC back to always on. Okay. In these settings here, you're going to go into I/O ports, initial display output, PCIe slot 1, your HD audio controller. You can disable it. No need for it. 16, or the PCIe X 16 by verification. Oops. Go in here and turn this to 2 by 8. Above 4G decoding, you will need this enabled. Resize bar support, doesn't really matter. Somewhere in here, I believe I seen, let's go over here. Here's our overclocks for our 5950X, by the way. I'm at 4200 all core. I do have XMP turned on, and we have the RAM set at 3200. Everything else I've got set to auto. Our CPU V-Core power, I've got at 1.1 volt. Seems to be a nice little happy spot for the 5950X. Any of the ones below that, you can take them down to 1 volt. But I figure since we're going to be drawing a little more power out of this one, we'll jump it up a little bit. Let's see. This is our PCIe 16 slot configuration. We want to change this to Gen 2. Get it off of auto. Gen 2. Should be able to keep that as disabled. And we don't need that. That's for using a server. To be able to get your graphics through a server. All right, this should be what we need to get this bad dude going. All right, so what we're going to do is go ahead and hit our F10, save and exit, and I will start getting everything moved to our location. And hopefully she boots up and runs flawlessly. That'd be nice, but that's usually never the case. I will say, from my experience, very few motherboards have ever given me that option, but we work through it and we keep trying until we get there. We'll be right back. All right, guys, before we start our move, we do want to make sure that everything is up and mining. We are on the 011 data pool. I did move my rigs back over here for a few reasons. For one, I love the layout and I like the pool. We were having those Stratum Connect issues until they switched their servers. And now that they're switched, everything is running flawlessly. Really, really like it. I did move to Flock Pool there for a while, and I will say it was running great for a while until they moved up there into the first place, and then all of a sudden, I'm still missing, I don't know, 275 plus Raptoreum from last night that I never got paid out for. I guess they were having some problems, and you know what? See ya. But every pool has their problems, but hopefully I receive those payouts eventually. But I do like the 011 data pool, and right now that stratum problem that I was having has disappeared. And the crazy part about it is I believe their old server was in Ohio, and I'm in Ohio, so you figured things would have been great, but that didn't happen. So I think they have one in Atlanta now, Georgia. So, but running great. So it does look like, before I start moving things around, I want to make sure that it was back up and hashing. Right there it is, our 5950x, and things are looking good. All right, so we'll start the tear down and get it put in place, and let's cross our fingers and hope that it works, because it's a pain moving all that stuff, especially with an AIO on there. So we'll be back. All right, guys, we are back. I tried the Red Panda finger snap, but it didn't work. But here's what I can tell you. The dude's a beast with his finger snap, by the way. But here's what I can tell you. We fired it up, we turned it on, and Hive OS found it right away. We are in, you notice we're not in the main port there. We're on the two 8x8s. And one thing's for sure, we're going to have to do some cable management up in here. I don't like any of this. But the B550 AORUS with the two PCIe splitters is up and running. Showing up, they are all running on a 1000 watt power server supply, which is up top here. And let's go over to the computer screen here. And there we are. There's all 8. Now what we'll need to do is go in here and set our overclocks. My overclocks are a little different than everybody else's, but I like stability. I run these 6600 XTs around 60 to 65 watts. You set them there, those bad dudes will just run and run and run with no problems. Yes, I know I'm giving up power. I may get in here someday and play around a little bit when I have some time, but I'm in and out and gone all the time, so I like the stability. All right, so and one of the things that's cool about Hive, if people don't know, if you're kind of new to Hive, is you can actually go and find the overclocks that a lot of people use. If you go over here and you click on your right side and you go over to popular presets and then you select your coin, ETH, and it shows you right here. I mean, if you need to get it up and running really fast while you're tweaking, you can go in here and select one of these, and usually they will run. These are all based on different types of memory, from Samsung to Hynix to uh, whatever, but and different clocks that the majority of people use, and it shows you what percentage of people are using those. So um, let's see if there's a preset in here for mine. Yeah, I'm not seeing one, but I will say it looks like these settings right here will actually work. If I send the flight sheet, these might actually work. Let's try it. Let's go over here to our flight sheet, and we are using Team Red Miner. Let's see if this bad dude goes. There she goes. There is our 5950x. She has started mining. And let's see if all 8 cards pop off here. Can go in and start the hive shell and look into the miner. They are starting to mine. Now with these 65, 61, 60, with that wattage setting right there, that's what I find most stable. To each their own. And there has been some updates in Hive about these cards in particular to try to get them more stable. So I will mess around with that here shortly. I've got another one of these on the way. So when I do that, I may go in there and start messing around with it. As more and more of these guys get to play around with these cards, the more and more they get to update the software. And I mean, like the old Polaris cards, those things run great. You don't see a whole lot of updates every now and then. Every now and then you'll see one, but they've got those things finely tuned and figured out. So, but here she is in all her glory. It's working. Let's go over here to the pool. Let's see if she's taken off yet. Let's do a refresh. So, yep, she just kicked in there. But looking beautiful. This is what we wanted to see. And to me, guys, this makes the most sense. Who needs mining motherboards? There we go. We got all 8 ripping and roaring. Let's go over here. And there is our, if you hit control and A twice, it'll pop you over to the other miner, which is this, our Raptoreum miner, our 5950x. Looking good. Let's see what kind of, I'm going to be real curious to find out if this takes any of our hash rate away. And I am doubting it very seriously, because on my 3300X, it didn't take nothing away. And in fact, my workstation is a 3900X. We got a 3900X in here. And I literally beat the crap out of that thing all day long. And it's mining, that 3060 Ti is mining on MB Miner. And we're mining Raptoreum at the same exact time. And I have had 0 issues, no crashes, no nothing. And it still keeps a constant. Let's go back over here real quick and I'll show you. It still keeps a constant. Here it is, workstation. mining over 3, and it's steady Eddie. No matter what I do, I can watch videos. I can do whatever I want to. I got 20 pages open at least all the time because I do a lot of trading too. So I even run my stock trading software in here, and it has no problems, no problems at all. So I think that's pretty good. All right, let's go back over here. Things are looking good, guys. Things are looking good. All right. Well, that's it for today. I do want to say, like I said, we have another, well, the CPU's here already, and it is going to be going in here, or up here. I haven't decided yet because I want to try out the motherboard that came with this. It was a motherboard that I was looking for and that I wanted. So it may go in here. It may go in here, and we'll leave the 3300X mining away until I get another 3900X. Like I said, these B450s, they're great for the 3900X. I wouldn't go anything past that um, with the B450 motherboard. We need to get these bad dudes on hangers. I might do a little video later on. I got some more GPU hangers from Honey Badger. He's got some nice stuff, man. I'm gonna do a little video for him and give him a shout out. But that's what all these are hanging on. Like I said, we got 2 rows of them, one front row, one back row. This right here is all of you 3D printer guys. I need some AIO hangers for these racks. That would be a good thing to make. Keep it nice and straight and make it look a lot better. But we're going to do some cable management. We need to get all this stuff buttoned up. But that's it for today, guys. If you guys like what you've seen today, please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm not like a lot of the guys out there. I will try to answer any and all questions, as long as they don't get crazy stupid. Now, I will absolutely try to answer all questions, though. That's it for today, guys. Have a great day.